Hello, 1, 2. Welcome to ReChurch. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to those online joining us as well. We welcome you, whatever time of day you are watching this and engaging with us. We are so excited to just get together again. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. And we've got, so Pastor Milton won't be able to be here today, so we've got Josh and I stepping in, just sharing a few things today and bringing a word. And we're just excited God's doing something new today, and we just want to, just experience His love and His presence here. So just encourage you to join with us as we worship this morning, and we'll lay down all the things that we've brought in to the side and just declare the mercies of God, declare His goodness over us. So do you want to do that with us? Amen. All right, let's stand. a new song, but you might have heard it before. Never Walk Alone. Your heart is for me. Your ear is listening. I'm safe in your love. Army of angels watch over me. invite you to take your seats for a minute, and I'll invite Josh to come and share some.
Good morning. Hey, church. It's great to see you. We, of course, are praying for those who can't be with us today, who are watching online. So we're glad that you can be watching online, and excited to see what God will do this morning. Just a couple of quick announcements. First, we have, of course, tithes and offerings. So if you've prepared those, we have the box down the back, just on your right as you exit the auditorium. Otherwise, if you'd like to give online, the details are available on the website and right there, which is great. So just wanted to let you know as well, we've got the Healing Rooms training coming up this Saturday, the 30th. It's an all-day event beginning at 8:30, and it's going to be really amazing. So we'd like you to book in for that. It is Healing Rooms training, so just be aware that it's the training and not Healing Rooms as normal. And that will be a great day. It'll be here from 8:30 in the morning. So register online on the website. You'll find the link. All right, I think, was that everything? That's pretty much everything. I'm sure that the food bank probably still need more volunteers, as is the perennial concern. So get in touch with Pastor Tony, folks, if you're interested in helping out with food bank. And certainly we value any of those contributions that you make. And have a great morning. I'll be back a little bit later.
I'll just get you guys to just stay seated for a bit. I was just going to share something from a devotional song. A friend of mine just gave me this beautiful devotional recently for my belated birthday, and I just want to read it to you. Is that okay? Just a little bit of it? Okay, it's about God's faithfulness in a day. Of all the ways one person can prove his or her love to another, the most tangibly communicated is that of remaining. A daughter who remains by her ailing mother's side. A pastor who remains steadfast at the pulpit week after week. A husband who remains faithful to his wife, a mum who remains on the sidelines cheering at a losing game. To remain is to look past the inconveniences, the faults, the unnecessary and the less than ideal, and to say with feet planted and heart unwavering, I'm not going anywhere. I'd take one faithful friend over a bunch of fickle fanfare any day. Some of us have felt abandoned, forgotten or unworthy of being shown faithfulness. Some of us is really all of us in the recesses of our private fears and secret thoughts. We can't imagine a God who will never leave our side in this world of broken promises. Is it any wonder then that the God of the universe chooses to set our days to the rhythm of his unchanging faithfulness? 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, year after year. The very measure of a day and its reliability tells us that neither the calling of a day nor its close depends on us. The faithful rising of the sun, light by which to work with our hands, the warm afternoon sun on our backs, the setting of the sun, the rising of the moon, stars that never leave their posts. We call these the making of a day, but God calls them a persistent renewing of his faithfulness. In the Bible, Lamentations 3:23 says, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." To his faithfulness, let's declare, great is thy faithfulness. It's a bit of an old word, thy, but it's your faithfulness. Great mercies are new this morning. Your mercies are new this morning. Great is your faithfulness. Great is your faithfulness, God. seats. I'm just going to invite James to keep playing. That's how I like to do stuff at home. Whenever I'm reading the Bible or anything, Dean knows I'm like, I need my instrumental music. Just like having that, it helps me focus in on the Lord, and all the thoughts kind of flutter away a little bit. I'm going to try and talk slowly because I know my mother-in-law would love me to as well, watching Anne from home. So this week I had so school holidays, and I had this song come to my mind that I wrote last year, and I felt like sharing it with the church, sharing it with you guys, the song story, so the story behind the song. And it just looked like there wasn't really much room in the service, but then room became available, and Milton said, yeah, go ahead and share it. So is that okay? I'm just going to share a song story. For those that don't know me, my name is Shanina, and I together with my husband, Dean, we lead the music team here at ReChurch. They're a wonderful team. We're so blessed. I just want to honour them. Guys in the sound and AV and the band, like they're here every Sunday. They're on every Sunday, so we have no roster because we are on every Sunday. So I love them so much, and I just want to honour them. They're just fantastic, and they love the Lord, and they love you. So this song I wrote in one of the lockdowns. I think it was the first lot of lockdowns. And so I'm just going to read what I wrote here. But it was in the middle of the COVID lockdowns. We had kids at home, remote learning happening. I was working from home. That's for those that have done that. Did anyone do working from home with kids at home? Yep, a few hands up. And the kids here that were in remote learning, did anyone not enjoy it? Anyway, God got us through it. But I was in the middle of all that, trying to figure out live streaming. So we were like, how do we do church? So trying to figure out YouTube and all this stuff. And it was crazy, right? It was like so much new stuff to learn. We were editing, we were filming, we were telling our kids, guys, we're going live, 3, 2, 1, be quiet, shh. And all this sort of stuff in our family. There was a lot going on. And, we're dealing with a lot of unknowns. So how long is this going to last? Like, how long is this going to go for? I don't want you to have to go back there yourself because it can be a bit traumatic. But this is, I went back thinking about this. Like, how long will this go for, Lord? Will our lives ever be the same again? So my kids weren't really enjoying the remote learning. Admittedly, watched a lot of TV. But it was around dinner time, one of those nights, that the weight of the day usually felt heavy at dinner time. I don't know why. I just felt like the day was ending, and it's like, I carried so much stuff, and I'm just like, I just need to collapse. And so one of these nights, I was just making dinner every day, unending. My sister-in-law and I joke around about this, like that question, what are we doing for dinner? It's just like this question, that kind of has this like, can we not answer this? And so I was feeling really down, and Dean was on shift work. I felt like I was pretty much falling apart. I just felt like I don't know how long I'm going to do this for. This is hard. Trying to hold everything together, and my heart turned to the Lord, my faithful friend and Father. And he placed a melody with lyrics on my heart. Okay, not gonna cry. And I just started singing over myself the truth of the moment. And the lyrics were, you're holding me together, Lord. 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 And I'm safe here. And I felt those words, and he just gave me that melody and the lyrics just there. And I'm just making dinner, something normal, mundane, and just singing those words over me. You're holding me together, Lord. And as I sang that while doing the mundane task of preparing dinner, he ministered to my soul, and I was able to let go and let him do the holding together. You see, I had been trying so hard to hold my family, my friends together when I felt things were at risk of falling apart. And all along, I actually needed him to hold me together. I couldn't do it. I have discovered over the last few years that I like to be in control. Is there anyone else here like me? Yeah. I like to know what's planned. You know, there are people are like, yeah, we all like to be in control, but I really like everything planned. I don't like surprises when it comes to my schedule, so Dean finds it really hard to surprise me because I always find out, usually. I like to be prepared, and when I feel like I'm on top of it all, every contingency plan, so I've got plan A, and if that fails, plan B, and plan C, and then we've got a plan D as well. Like, I got the plans, right? They're all in there in the back of my mind. And when I've got all them ready, then I feel like I can relax and I can be at peace. But this peace or rest is actually based on my achievements. It's based on what I've planned and what I've prepared, and my ability to control a situation. And sometimes, like in lockdowns, and other times, even today, situations are out of our control. And that storehouse of my own peace or my own stuff that I've built just isn't enough, and I'm lost, and I don't have peace, and I can't rest. The Lord, and only the Lord, the Prince of Peace, can offer us a peace that surpasses understanding. And I have experienced this over and over again, but still sometimes I go back to my own sense of peace by being in control of a situation and feeling like that's enough for me. I feel like at rest. But he keeps reminding me that his peace is the one that surpasses understanding. And when we truly trust him and his loving heart for us, we don't need to understand everything. We don't need to understand the ins and outs. We don't need to understand how plan A can become plan B. We just trust him. And trust his heart. We're not just trusting, anyone. We're trusting someone who we know. We're trusting a God who loves us, who gave his life for us, who gave up everything for us. And so that night, I decided to finish the song that the Lord gave me, and I recorded it that very night. That's not normal, just FYI. I don't write a song in one day. It was the Lord, definitely. And I decided to record it. It was like 11:30 at night, and I'm there singing quietly, which you might hear in the recording because the kids were sleeping. But I just had to get the song out. I just had to record it. And I shared it with some friends as the Lord prompted me during that season that, and I think it did minister to them. Praise the Lord, glory to him. And I wanted to share the song with you today. So I'm going to get Connor to play it in a minute. And I've just done a quick lyric video so you can see something while you're listening as well. But my prayer, I knew the Lord wanted me to share this today. I really feel confident about that this was something he wanted me to share. And I pray that as we think on these things and that we meditate on the Prince of Peace, that we let go of the need of control and allow him to hold us together in whatever situation we might find ourselves in today. So I pray that this ministers to you and encourages and reassures your heart in whatever situation, that you don't have to hold it together. He's holding you together. He's holding us together, and we're safe there. So thanks, James, so much for your beautiful playing. I'll just ask Connor to play that video. Just sit and allow the Lord to minister to you, and then Josh will come up.
Lord, you're holding me together.
me together. Lord, you're holding me together. Lord, and I'm safe here. You're holding me together. Lord, you're holding me together. Lord, you're holding me together. Lord, and I'm safe here. 'Cause you're right here. And you are my peace. You are my refuge. You reassure me that you've got this, you've got this. You are my peace. You are my refuge. You reassure me that you've got this, you've got this. Yes, you've got this. Yes, you've got me. You won't let go of my heart, no. You're holding me together, Lord. You're holding me together, Lord. You're holding me together, Lord, and I'm safe here.
Morning, church, again. For those that don't know me, my name is Josh, and I'll be bringing a little bit of a sort of an extra word this morning. It's not like a full sermon, but it's kind of a half and half. So thanks, Shanina, for hearing from the Lord and being faithful to bring the word that you brought, and that sort of inspired the word that I'll bring as well. Shanina did say she was concerned hearing the word from the Lord that there wouldn't be room in the service. But I seem to remember a story about there being no room at an inn or something at some point. So we've got precedent. So that's good. All right. We've just come through Easter. Easter crept up on me a little bit, actually. I'm sure it probably did for a few of you. But we've come through our Greek community are celebrating Greek Easter today, or our Orthodox community. So that's good. Christos Anesti. I was thinking, what do you suppose the chief concern of Jesus' followers was in the days between his death and the resurrection? So in that space, what was their chief concern? Think about it. For 3 days, everyone looking at their papyrus, flicking through their social media feed. Anything yet? No, nothing. What about you? No, I got nothing either. Did he say 3 days like Sunday night? Or was it 3 days and then he'll return like Monday morning? Because, I got to work Monday morning. You want to know what eternity feels like? Those 3 days without Jesus, that must have been like an eternity to those people. Seriously though, for those at the time who chose to respond in faith during those 3 days, it was all about being there to see the promise play out. Front row seats to the greatest event in history, the greatest victory in history. However, for those who grappled but were unable to hold on to faith during that time, due to the visceral catastrophe of the cross, I suspect it would have been what do I do now? He left us. He left us. And so 3 days later, some were vindicated. And some were left with egg on their face. And it just so happens that this week I sent a communication to Milton about a very firm decision, a thing that I thought I was certain about, and within 24 hours, God did what he does and sort of totally reversed that. So Milton, I'll be in touch. Egg on my face, but we'll talk. Sometimes we make plans. Silly us. Some responded in that time in faith. Others responded in flesh. The point is, whether people believed or not, Christ fulfilled his promise and returned. Here, today, we're still finding our way through and out of a period that divides our responses in a very similar fashion. Virus, vaccine, lockdown, uncertainty, tension, conflict, now re-establishing, in some cases reassessing our whole lives, all while finding our feet at Frog Court as well. We have had this situation foisted upon us. In retrospect, we can all agree that Jesus' death on the cross was ultimately good. But did the people at that time, before the resurrection on the third day, feel that that was a situation that had been foisted upon them? Probably many did. The question is, with all that's happened, will we choose to come through and out of this period in faith or in flesh? The big misdirect is that on face value, coming out of this period in our collective life together and in our individual lives is freeing and liberating. This is the easy part we've all been waiting for a couple of years. Except that doesn't feel entirely true every day, does it? Facing the future, if you feel less than certain, if you feel burdened by what may lie ahead, it could be that you're aware of the limitations of your flesh. You see, flesh likes certainty, as Shanina explained to us. Flesh likes structure and routine. Don't believe me? We eat and need to eat regularly, don't we? Every day, multiple times. We have a circadian rhythm that ensures that our sleep is regulated. You see, our flesh likes this. We really like the reliable systems that we've built for ourselves as well. If we need toilet paper, we know that we can go to the local store and purchase more. The thought of empty supermarket shelves stresses us out, doesn't it? Faith in something outside of our control can be really scary. But if you're trying in your own strength to hold everything and everyone together, as we heard in that song a moment ago, there's nothing wrong with that heart's desire. But we, people of Christ, signed up for something different to that. We don't do it alone. While the flesh likes structure and routine, the spirit waits on the Lord. I get stressed out when I'm planning everything to go perfectly for me and my loved ones, but God then interferes and he wants me to throw out a perfectly good plan, just throw it out the window. Doesn't he know that I'm holding things together? So inconsiderate. But no, my heart's in the right place, but I'm operating from the relative comfort and predictability of my flesh. What I don't realize is that I'm operating from the relative futility of my flesh, because God can do so much better than I can. I've got a couple of pictures I wanted to share with you, Connor. If we could see picture number 1 now up on the screen. This is, I think we can all agree, a pretty big ship. Okay, so these new ultra-large, what are they called? Ultra-large cargo vessels, ULCV. They are longer than the MCG twice laid on end, okay? They are giant beasts of vehicles. We have made these absolute crazy machines, very impressive, of course. That is this huge thing that mankind can make. It's all of our ingenuity, and it's incredible, and it gets us all the stuff we order on eBay, which I'm sure we're really happy about, and Amazon and all that sort of thing. But if we go to the next image there, Connor, this is what God can do. It's bigger than a ship. It's cooler than a ship. And in fact, if we go to image number 3, you may not have noticed the 2 giant, ultra-large cargo vessels in that picture of what God created. You see how giant they look compared to God's creation? Little specks, aren't they? Thanks for that, Connor. God can do so much better than I can. If we look at King David being established, this is from 2 Samuel 7, 1-2. It says, after the king was settled in his place and the Lord had given him rest from all his enemies around him, he said to Nathan the prophet, here I am, living in a house of cedar, while the ark of God remains in a tent. So here's David feeling guilty, saying, well, I need to do something here. I need to have a plan. You know, here I am in a house of cedar. The ark of God remains in a tent. I need to do something about this, Nathan. But that night, the word of the Lord came to Nathan, saying, go and tell my servant David, this is what the Lord says. Are you the one to build me a house to dwell in? You, David, a man? Now then, tell my servant David, this is what the Lord Almighty says. I took you from the pasture, from tending the flock, and appointed you ruler over my people Israel. If we remember David's humble beginnings, just a farm boy. I have been with you wherever you have gone, and I have cut off all your enemies from before you. Now I will make your name great, like the names of the greatest men on earth. And I will provide a place for my people Israel, and will plant them so that they can have a home of their own and no longer be disturbed. Wicked people will not oppress them anymore as they did at the beginning and have done ever since the time I appointed leaders over my people Israel. I will also give you rest from all your enemies. The Lord declares to you that the Lord himself will establish a house for you when your days are over and you rest with your ancestors. I will raise up your offspring to succeed you, your own flesh and blood, and I will establish his kingdom. He is the one who will build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he will be my son. When he does wrong, I will punish him with a rod wielded by men, with floggings inflicted by human hands. But my love will never be taken from him. As I took it away from Saul, whom I removed from before you. Your house and your kingdom will endure forever before me. Your throne will be established forever. Nathan reported to David all the words of this entire revelation. David's response. Then King David went in and sat before the Lord, and he said, who am I, sovereign Lord? And what is my family that you have brought me this far? Lord Almighty, God of Israel, you have revealed this to your servant, saying, I will build a house for you. So your servant has found courage to pray this prayer to you, sovereign Lord. You are God. Your covenant is trustworthy, and you have promised these good things to your servant. Now be pleased to bless the house of your servant, that it may continue forever in your sight for you, sovereign Lord, have spoken. For you, sovereign Lord, have spoken. And with your blessing, the house of your servant will be blessed forever. So you see, David understands that he isn't to build a house for the Lord, but quite the opposite. The Lord makes the plans. The Lord establishes those plans. And we share in his glory and blessing. He's good to us. Though the natural inclination may be to have control in this period of your lives. You want to have control over what comes next. It's important to know that your controls are flawed, as are mine. Your plans, well-intentioned as they may be, are flawed. They might make you feel safe at first. It's a plan responsibly made with love and care, but it's not as good as God's plan. Though it'll require more faith than immediate certainty, which we know we all love, more than just predictability, it might even be scary. We need to have trust in Him. Remember this morning that God is the one who holds everything in the universe together. He can hold things together for you too. In this season, inquire, listen, and respond in faith, and you'll see His glory, the splendor of His plan, which is perfect, just as King David did. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. We sung it just a moment ago. I'd like to invite the prayer team to come forward now. And I would invite you this morning, folks, to respond to this word. If you feel that you have been doing things in your own strength, and if you've been anxious, if you've been worried, if you've been burdened, this morning I'd like you to bring that to the foot of the cross and be prayed for. And we've had a pretty major upset that's happened over the past couple of years that we're still finding our way out of, and we will. But think about this. This is an opportunity to do it differently than before. If you've been hesitant to trust Him and walk with Him previously, then take the opportunity today to do it differently than before. This might be part of the silver lining to what we've been through. We'll be up the front to pray for you, so please come as you feel led.
Springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars.